Hi you guys, it's me, it's Olivia. Welcome back to my channel. I'm currently sick. You could probably tell just by the way that I look that I'm sick. But I still just really wanted to make a video because, well, this video has been eating me up in my head for some reason. Like this entire day I was like, oh, I'm gonna wait till I get better to record this video. But I know that once I'm better, I'm gonna have to go back to my responsibilities and I might not have enough time. So I'm home from work today because I am sick, so I thought, let me just record right now. I have a few things that I want to touch on, but I don't necessarily have a plan with where I'm going in this video. I mostly just want to talk about my life updates, how Korea was. I'm extremely congested, and so I get out of breath a lot and I feel like I have to cough every 5 seconds, but we're gonna make do. So hi, how are you? I know it's been quite a while since I have really sat down and talked to you guys. I think the last time I posted, you know what, let me actually check. Let me not hypothesize. Let's actually take a look. Okay, so last time I posted a podcast episode was February 3rd. Okay, so it has been quite a bit, and I'm just gonna tell you how Korea was, some pretty big life updates, and yeah, I guess I'm just gonna see where this video takes me. I just kind of want to talk and get some stuff off my chest. I find that taking videos and making videos for myself has always been therapeutic, so why not share it with, you guys. So the first thing I want to talk about is Korea and how my experience there was like. I know a lot of people are probably wondering just how I got there, and the process to get to Korea and studying abroad, so I'll explain it now, and if you want I can do a video that's more in-depth about it, but I'm gonna try and give you the spark notes on it right now. I know you can hear my mom's music in the background, so I hope that editing can get rid of that, because if not, I have to scrap this entire video because all the songs she's playing is copyright. Okay, so basically, if you don't know, I studied abroad in South Korea from the end of February to the end of June. So I spent 4 months in Korea as an exchange student at Yonsei University. That was the best decision I've ever made in my life. So let me tell you how I got there. From a very young age, I've always wanted to travel abroad. I said that in my I have a surprise for you, or I have an announcement for you video. I have always dreamed of living the dorm life and just going somewhere, because I'm Canadian and it's not really a super common thing here for people to move out for college or university and live on res. It's not super common. I knew that when I went to university that I wouldn't get to experience that. I would try and stay close and live at home and save money and all that stuff. But in December of 2023, I decided that, you know what, I do want to go abroad and I do want to live dorm life. Something that I didn't mention in recording, because I was only reminded of it after recording, is the fact that my high school and other high schools in my school district did a 1 month in Italy trip in between the students' grade 11 and grade 12th year. This was a common thing that happened every single year, and I knew about it because I have a cousin who's 4 years older than me, and she did the trip. And when it came time for me to do the trip, COVID was running rampant, so thanks COVID. I really thought that that was going to be my first taste of travel abroad, my first time in Europe. Still have never gone to Europe. I thought that that was going to be my first time away from my family. I was super excited about it. Again, I've been wanting to study abroad since I was super young, or I've wanted to be abroad since I was super young, not necessarily studying, but just travel, right? So for reference, COVID hit in my second semester of 10th grade. And I was hoping and praying that it was really only going to be the 2 weeks. It wasn't. And then I was praying that, maybe it would last for the summer. It didn't, girl. It lasted a whole 2 other years. But anywho, the trip for the people a year above me, obviously their trip was canceled. But I was just really holding on to hope. I was please, I really want to go on this trip. And then it just never happened. So because of that, that was also a catalyst in me wanting to study abroad. I didn't get my fix of it before of traveling, so I really wanted to push and have nothing stand in my way this time around, and it worked. So yeah. And I also just really want to be alone and be independent. I was 19 when I decided, I think. I'm 20 now, but I had just turned 19. And I have just been craving this kind of independence that I've never had before for years. It's just, I guess, normal, you know, growing up, being a teenager. Like, thankfully, I have, you know, amazing parents who are super willing to take on tasks that I don't necessarily feel like doing, and that's just always how it's been my entire life. I've always had my parents to lean on, but I just really wanted the ability to, I don't know, be my own person and just do things for myself, make my own decisions. And again, I mentioned this in my other video, I just really wanted to be able to rely on myself and myself only. And in December of 2023, I brought it up to my parents and I said, hey, you know that I've been wanting to go abroad for so long. Is this possible, like financially? And my dad and my mom basically said, we'll make it work. And from there, we made it work. January of 2024, I submitted my application. The deadline was like January 15th. I remember that day because I was actually super stressed out. If I have any clips from that day, which I think I do, or any clips from me submitting my application, I will definitely put it into this video. There were just so many, like, I think I tried recording some, like, big milestones or dates leading up to studying abroad, but if I have any of those and I find them, I will put them in. I submitted my application through my university, so my school that I go to, it's York University, and they have this international program, and the international program is basically where you can go anywhere in the world that there's partnerships with, and you can stay there for a semester, for a full year, do summer programs. And so I applied and I eventually was accepted in like October, I think. Like, I had submitted my application in January and I had gone through the talks with people about like, oh, when am I getting accepted? If I get accepted, like blah, blah, blah. And I was just always given like a different date, like, oh, at the end of March. Oh, you'll get accepted this time, this time. So I had officially got accepted into York International's program at the end of March, but I wasn't officially accepted at Yonsei University as an international student until like December, I think. So I was accepted into York International, and then I had to wait the entire summer until like the second week of October to do my separate application to Yonsei University in Korea, and that was due October 31st. Submitted every document that I needed, got my passport photo done, got my visa, got everything that I needed, and actually, I got my visa later. But anyway, I got all the documents, all the supplementary things that I needed, submitted it, and then I was accepted in late November, early December. Then it was on to dorms and booking flights and getting visa. It was super, super stressful. I was going through, you know, my finals, and the time difference in Korea when I was applying was 14 hours. So when it came to dorm applications and everything, it was like 8 p.m. for me, but 10 a.m. for them. And so I was like I was up, but I was just like super stressed throughout the entire day, like hoping and praying that I would get my preferred dorm. And my roommate and I, love you Simone, shout out Simone, she might be watching this, I don't know. We had filled out the application like before 8 o'clock hit, I think it was 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and then we pressed it as soon as, you know, it opened, and thank the lucky stars, we both got SK Global Dorm House. Things were looking up from there. Things were really, really, really good. I knew some people that had applied for SK Global, but they ended up getting iHouse, and if anyone's looking into Yonsei University, I would so recommend SK Global House. iHouse, International House, is an all-women's dormitory, so I know for a lot of the guys, if they didn't get into SK, they had to find some off-campus housing, but I would so recommend SK. From what I know and from what I've heard, SK is a lot cleaner, it's a lot nicer, it's a newer building. Yeah, like all the facilities are basically in SK, and yeah, like SK was just, it was a great experience. We had the convenience store, and we had all the fast food places. I was told my sister has exciting news, I must call her. Are they in my room? You're not in my room. I am in your room. You are? Anyway, that'll be fun. I'll talk to you when you get home. Okay, anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, SK Global House, definitely would recommend. If you can't, go to iHouse. Just being on campus is really, really nice. I think the reason why is because campus is literally like a 10-minute walk from the dorms, and also that's where I met like all of my friends. I am so grateful that I got to live the dorm experience that I had been dreaming of, you know, growing up and consuming American media like my entire life, and seeing like universities and, you know, and colleges and people living the dorm life and, you know, being independent and moving states or whatever it was, really like kind of hurt me a bit. I don't know why. I just always really wanted that growing up, and so I'm super grateful, and it was such a privilege to experience that. My roommate was also fantastic. We had no problems. We clicked super well. We were super considerate. Those 4 months felt seamless with her there. Like, we took a plane there, like we took a flight there, and we took the flight back, and she was honestly sent from God. Like, I don't know, but she, like, it was fate. Her and I meeting was literally fate. We met on a Discord server. It was like for Korea universities and for people who were, you know, studying abroad and this, that, and the third. And I messaged her because she had said, hey, who's looking for a roommate? I'm studying abroad in Korea the spring semester of 2025. And I was like, oh, I am. And mind you, the only thing I knew about this person was that her name was Simone, and like her little profile picture, so I could see what she kind of looked like. But I ended up like private messaging her, and she was like, oh, hey. And I'm like, hi, like my name's Olivia. I'm from Canada, and you know, I'm studying abroad the same semester as you. And she was like, oh, no way, I'm from Canada too. Where from? And so I was like, I'm from Toronto. And she was like, no freaking way, because I'm from Toronto. And I was like, this is actually like the best thing ever. Come to find out, she's literally 20 minutes away from me. So like, it was the biggest blessing ever, to be honest. We met up, I think, twice before we went to Korea, so like we knew who each other were, and then we, you know, booked our flights. We went to Korea together. Throughout our time as roommates, we obviously became like pretty close. She brought up like, you know, when we had first taken our flight together, like we were basically strangers. Like we didn't know each other like at all. And we were very hesitant to, you know, we were very hesitant with each other, but our friendship grew astronomically over the 4 months. You know, we lived together, we, you know, shared the same bathroom, like we lived in close proximity, so she became like my best friend for those 4 months. My biggest piece of advice for anyone who wants to travel abroad is literally to do it. Like, if you can financially, do it. If you can't financially, make it work somehow. I worked my butt off, okay? My butt off to make some money so that I could go abroad. But I do have to, you know, give it up to my parents, because really, if it was not for them, then I would not have been able to go. Their support just overall meant so much to me that I was able to achieve something that I had been wanting to do for so long. And just having that support system made everything so much easier. Like, I knew that if anything had happened, that I could, you know, call them. They were a call away, even if it was 4 a.m. for them, you know? It was kind of hard at first when going to Korea. I remember the first night I felt trapped. I had gotten off the plane with Simone, and that was the first time that I had taken a flight without my parents, a flight longer than 5 hours. Like, that was the first time I transferred on a flight. Like, I've never taken a connecting flight before. Like, my travel day in total, I think, was like 18 hours, and that was the first time I had done any of that. I remember landing in Korea, and I was like just astounded to even hear the language, because the only times I had ever really heard the language was in K-dramas, or if I was looking for some kind of Korean media to consume. I can't think, guys. But once I landed in Korea, we were trying to figure out how to get our team money cards, and we were trying to figure out our way to get, you know, to our hotel, which was in Hongdae. And we ended up, you know, figuring it out. Well, Simone did most of it, to be honest, because she's big brain. And we made it to our hotel in Hongdae, and we got to the room, and I remember showering after our long flight, and I just remember thinking to myself, I can't believe that I'm here right now, and I can't believe that, like, this is life, and that I'm here for the next 4 months. Like, that That was crazy to me. I had finished my shower and, I lie down on the bed, and someone in a group chat had asked if anyone wanted to go out the first night, and I was like kind of willing to go, but I was also super jet lagged and super tired. So I told Simone that if she wanted to go, she could go, but I think I'm just gonna stay back in the hotel room, and she ended up deciding I don't really want to go either, and we kind of just hung out in the hotel and we talked. I brought up that I kind of felt scared and I felt trapped because I was so far from home, and I've never been that far from home. Like, I've never been that far. The longest time I've been away from home and away from family was like a week. And even then, I was with people that I was comfortable with for that week. So being practically alone in a completely new country for the next 4 months was just a super conflicting thought to wrap my mind around. I was like, I'm stuck. There's no return flight until June 23rd. It's February 23rd. And I have, 4 months of God knows what. So it was just really scary. And I think I actually cried my first night because I was so scared. But the next morning at like 10 a.m., we were at our dorm check-in, and I was so happy to get into my room, and Simone and I were honestly literally jumping for joy. If you saw it in my travel vlog, I was literally jumping for joy. I was so happy that, we had our dorm, and, room 645 will forever hold a special place in my heart. Like, that was really where, the memories happened, and from there, like, everything just fell into place. Like, I met my group of friends, and we had some classes together, we planned trips together. It was honestly like, I would so do it again. I would do it a million times over. I would choose going to Korea in a heartbeat every single time. I went to Jeju with a group of friends. That was super, super fun. Crossed that off my bucket list. I think that Jeju really made me fall in love with nature and like the little things and fresh air and, mountains and the landscapes and the ocean. I've never seen water that blue before, and being able to like really sit with myself in nature, I just feel like I was literally touching grass. Like, it was super great. Everyone go out and touch the grass. Then I went to Japan. Japan was really nice as well. It was kind of expensive, but I tried to make the most of it. I saw a lot of temples, a lot of historical places, went to Kyoto, went to Uji, I stayed in Osaka, and yeah, like I'm super happy that I was able to experience those places too outside of just Seoul, because, and I also went to Busan. I tried to seize the opportunity of being in Asia and then like visiting other places like Japan and Asia. I didn't get the chance to go to Vietnam or Thailand or Singapore, but I will go there one day, because Korea literally gave me this travel bug that I don't think will disappear until I visit every country in the world. I know that scares you, mother. I know that scares you. My 4 months in Korea consisted of self-growth, a lot of development, a lot of decision-making for myself, a lot of learning not to be such a people pleaser, and if I didn't want to go somewhere, I wasn't gonna go, and really putting myself first, which is what I wanted to do while I was there. If I didn't want to go clubbing, I wasn't gonna go clubbing. And I didn't club the entire time that I was there, even though that's a really big thing in Korea. I just felt like it wasn't like something that interested me, so I just never went, even though like I had friends who went clubbing, I really tried prioritizing myself, and I think I did a good job, because when I came back, I'm still able to prioritize myself, and I'm actually able to prioritize myself even more now. Another big life update actually happened in Korea towards the end of the trip, and I'm not gonna go into detail about like everything that had happened, but basically I'm single now, and many people probably don't know this about me, or they had no clue that I was even in a relationship. That's because I kept it quite private out of respect for my partner, and like I didn't really post about it. I usually just called him my boyfriend. Nobody knew his name or what he looked like. But a recent development in the story is that I'm now single. We were together for 3 years, and I think that, I'm so young, and there's just so much more in this world for me that I just want to experience and that I want to see. I don't hate this person at all, and I, wish them the absolute best. Although it wasn't necessarily like completely, my decision on how things ended, I'm grateful that I've been able to bounce back from the situation. I like to say that resilience is my middle name. I have this like uncanny ability to just bounce back from experiences. That's either good or bad. I may be emotionally detaching myself, and therefore that makes things, easier to get through. Or this is just proof that it was about time, and I'm just happy and grateful that I'm okay and that I can focus, on my academics and focus on, my health. I've been trying to like have better gut health and also just try and make like better choices when it comes to food and like what I'm putting in my body, because when I was in Korea, my gut health was amazing. Like with all the kimchi and the probiotics and the prebiotics that I was having and all the like really good chicken that I was having, and my gut has never been better. I'm just trying to like emulate part of that here, and it's kind of hard because all the food here is so ungodly processed. Like I get bloated after eating a chicken nugget. Like come on. How my life is looking now, I work full time as I have for the past, this is gonna be my third summer working full time. When I go to school, I'm going to my 4th year in my psych program, and nope, not graduating in June because I'm splitting my year up into 2 years actually, so I don't want to die. And that's just the truth. I have to take my honors thesis, and I have to take like an academic seminar, and I just have like a whole bunch of classes that I have to take, and I'd rather not do that in a 4th year where I'm literally going to be sobbing every day, not being able to keep up. So while I was in Korea, I made the executive decision to take a 5th year. I was really on the fence about it. Like, I have this thing inside me where it's like, why are you gonna take a 5th year? Like, every time someone tells me, like, oh, I took a 5th year and I graduated, I'm like, good for you. I wish I had my longer nails so I could, like, actually do the clap. But I'm like, good for you. Like, you knew what you needed to do. But I will always preach to other people that everyone's on their own timeline, and however long you need to take to graduate university is, however long you need, and there's no shame in taking a 5th year. And that's genuinely how I feel for other people. But for me, it was really hard to come to terms with that I wasn't going to graduate on time, per se, because I had worked so hard to graduate on time and to, finish all my classes and all that stuff, that when I realized that I could finish it with 1 more year, but I would be losing myself and losing my sanity in the process, I really had to think about, is it really about graduating on time? Like, is that what's important, or is it my mental health? And inevitably, I chose my mental health, and so I decided to split my 4th year into 2 years. So I'm going to be graduating in the spring of 2027 as opposed to the spring of 2026. That was a hard decision. It was like teetering in my brain, and I kept like seesawing with the idea in my head, and I think that that is the best decision for me. I have this weird thing where a lot of the things that I say to other people out of love and out of kindness and care, I don't necessarily show myself the same love, kindness, and care. So if I say to someone, you don't need to people please, like you don't need to do this or that, or you don't need to graduate on time, or you can do things on your own timeline, I always ever say that because I care for the person. But for myself, I don't hold myself to those same qualities. I very much hold myself up to a higher standard. And I always feel like I have to do this because if I don't, then, my potential's ruined. And again, at the end of the day, it really comes down to graduating on time or mental health. And mental health just takes the cake. I can still get to the same places that I want to get to if I take a 5th year. So really, what's the harm? Wow, I have to wait a whole other year. But my 5th year is going to be more smooth because I'm not going to have as many classes, and yeah. The only thing that kind of sucks though, and I was thinking about it, is that like all the people that I was friends with in like all of my years will probably be graduated, you know, in spring of 2026, and I'm gonna go into my 5th year not really knowing anybody in like my psych classes, because I have a very small cohort of people that I, you know, do classes with. So a lot of my classes are repeat people. What? You know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna like see, you know, all their faces and all their graduation pictures, and that's just gonna be really hard for me. Like, I'm thinking about it right now. Yeah, that's gonna be really hard for me. It is what it is. I do want to pursue my master's degree, but do you ever see those videos where it's like, this is my plan A and this is my plan B? Or like, this is what I would do if I was listening to my heart, this is what I would do if I was listening to my soul. My plan A is to become like a psychologist or a psychotherapist and work with people with intellectual disabilities. But my plan B, and what I actually want to do and what I want to pursue, is being a content creator and having that like freedom to make my own schedule and you know, have like financial freedom and financial independence and be able to travel the world and all that. So is it gonna happen? I don't know. Chances are slim, but it's still something that I really, really, really want to do. And I plan on backpacking after I graduate, so like 2027, like in between June and like September, those 2 months. I do want to travel, and I do want to backpack, potentially Europe, potentially Asia. Yeah, I just really want to see the world, and I want to keep making videos. I've had like a passion and a motivation to. I just feel very demotivated when I feel like my videos may not be necessarily good enough, or, you know, but I have to keep reminding myself like it is my channel and like I can post whatever I want and nothing has to be perfect quality, and I really try and make my videos great quality, but at the end of the day, like, I'm literally just a girl. So if I make videos that are like the greatest quality or that are, you know, stunningly aesthetic, then who cares? Like, I just want to make videos and I just want to post, and I think I'm just gonna record whatever. When I was in Korea, I wanted to post more and I wanted to record more, but I think what took the like what topped everything was me just wanting to live in the moment, and I didn't want to wake up every day and then hold a camera and then have everything feel like a production. Like, I really didn't want everything to feel like it had to be recorded. I also didn't want to like annoy the people around me, so I recorded a lot of clips on, you know, my phone, and I have clips for my friends on my phone, and I really just wanted to live in the moment. And I'm so grateful that I did, and I'm so happy that, you know, I woke up every morning and I could say I'm in Korea and go through my days with a smile on my face and getting 20,000 steps a day and, you know, eating delicious food. I would love to live there one day, even if it is just for a couple or more months. Yeah, I think that was, you know, I think I'm forever going to be chasing that feeling of being abroad and seeing the cherry blossoms bloom. And yeah, I think it was absolutely beautiful, and I got to meet some amazing people along the way, people I still, you know, keep in contact with, and I think what really made the trip was the people, because yes, I was in Korea, but if I had done it alone, then it wouldn't have been, you know, as fun. But having the people that I had, my sister is talking to my pet, so she's being kind of loud, having the people that I had was definitely the cherry on top. I'm so, I just can't say it enough. Like, I'm so grateful that I had my friends. I'm so grateful we had a group chat. I'm so grateful that I went to Korea. I'm so grateful that we planned trips. I'm so grateful that, like, my parents were so supportive, and I'm just so grateful, and it really made me, like, love being alive, I guess. But those 4 months really put into perspective just how okay I am being on my own. I know that if I'm ever put in any situation, I can figure it out, and that's what's important, is if I'm ever, God forbid, stranded somewhere, I can figure it out, because I've shown myself that I'm more capable than what I had originally thought that I was, and it was for sure a privilege, like, the biggest privilege of them all. My whole life is a privilege, being alive is a privilege, having parents is a privilege, being able to walk is a privilege. That was something that I didn't realize until I was there, was like, oh my gosh, me being able to move is a privilege, you know? me being able to walk from the dorm to the bus stop and taking a bus to here, there, and everywhere is a privilege. Like, I was so happy that, you know, I had an able body in Japan to do my 20,000 steps a day, and, like, I was just so... It was like a crazy feeling. It was like, oh my gosh, there is a God. That's what it felt like. I'm grateful for these working legs that took me to places, and I'm so grateful for the headspace and that I was super positive for the most part while I was there. There's just so much beauty in this world, and I urge every single person out there watching this video to go and look for it, because it's everywhere. Enjoy the train rides, and enjoy the bus rides, and enjoy the sunrises and the sunsets. And if you ever find yourself in Korea, take a bus over the Han River and just look out the window. It's just so ethereal, just being alive. It's just crazy. And now that I'm home, and now that I'm back to regular scheduled programming of working and being at home with family and seeing home friends, I still carry that gratitude with me while I'm here, and I'm just so happy that I had somewhere to go back to, and I'm so happy that I had, you know, a happy, loving home to come back to. Next places on the bucket list to go to is places in Europe. The next continent that I want to touch is Europe. I really want to go to Europe. I really want to go to Italy, and I really want to go to France. I want to see Claude Monet's house. And I really also just want to see, like, everything in Europe. European history. I didn't know how much I liked the history of places until I went to the National Museum of Korea. I think I went to the National Museum of Korea like 4 times while I was there. I saw the same stuff, but I just loved it every single time that I went. I think just Asia just has so much history, whereas Canada, like, we literally have been a country for, 160 years or something like that. So we don't, like, I feel like we have history, yes, but it's not, like, it's not European or Asian history. So, I don't know. I was just really interested in all that. Thank you guys for listening to me yap for I don't even know how long. Yeah, just study abroad. Even if you feel like, oh, I can't, or it's too late, it's never too late. It's never too late to experience life, and it's never too late to do what you really want to do, and just spend the money. Buy the ticket. I saw so many concerts while I was there, which I never thought that I would see. I never thought that I was going to see Coldplay in concert. Are you kidding? And then their tickets were $150 Canadian. Hell yeah. Was it even $150? I think it was cheaper. Hell yeah. From Korea to Japan, $150 ticket? Hell yeah. Do it. Seize the opportunity, any opportunity that you get, because being alive is a privilege, okay? And being able to move is a privilege. So, do it before you can't. That's all for me. I'm gonna blow my nose after this video. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. We are like 30 subscribers away from 500, I think, and it would be a privilege. And I would be so grateful if you would press that subscribe button and help me reach my goal of 500 subscribers. Again, thank you for watching. If you have any questions about Korea or any questions in general about anything I said in this video, let me know in the comments. I will reply. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. See ya. Bye.